Greetings, everybody. How are you today? I am Jocelyn Mercado. I'm the founder of Sacred Planet, and I'm so excited today to bring you this presentation on the ancient shamanic and alchemical traditions and how they can guide us to navigate through the depths of the unknown, which is definitely where we all are globally, collectively right now. So at the beginning here, I would love to see who is on and where you're calling in from. We have lots and lots of people coming in, which is wonderful. So everybody go ahead and put in the chat your name and your location so I can see who's on. And be sure when you chat, when you comment, to select all panelists and attendees. In the chat, it may be automatically set on all panelists only, but if it's on all panelists, then I'm the only one who can see your comment. So you want to be sure to select all panelists and attendees so everybody can see what you're writing. So welcome, Katrina. Welcome, Rose in Austria. Welcome, Jen in Barcelona. Janet in Kentucky. Peggy in Asheville. Dolores in Ireland. Kim in Illinois. Mel in Portland, Oregon. Oh, wow, so many beautiful people from all around the world. Nina from Israel. Joan from Michigan. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Jenny in Austin. Good to see you here. Welcome, Sue in Canada. Maya in Texas. Rachel in Colorado. Beautiful. Laura in Canada. British Columbia, Canada. Robert Bruce in Florida. Kasha in France, Paris, France, Melissa in Mexico. So wonderful to see all of you on here. We have people in New Zealand, Jenny and Glenise in New Zealand, beautiful. Deborah in Toronto, Rowena in Connecticut, and I'm not getting everybody because there's so many. We have over 160 people on, which is so beautiful. So welcome to everybody. I'm really, really excited to gather with you today. And I know, these are just such powerful, such painful as well times that we are in. We are being called to shift literally all of our patterns. Everything that we were used to is being rearranged and recalibrated. And I think it's so important that we gather in community in this way, especially because we cannot gather in person in the ways that we're used to in our workplaces, in workshops and retreats, in yoga studios. Right now, we cannot be doing that. So it's so important to cultivate community wherever we can. And these online spaces give us a beautiful, amazing way to do that. So I have a really, really powerful presentation in store for you today. I'm going to share this ancient shamanic and alchemical wisdom with you, which is extremely potent, given what we're all going through right now. And I think it will be very helpful and supportive and give you a lot of guidance for how to move forward. And then I'm going to share with you a really beautiful meditation toward the end to help you go deeply into what all this might be uncovering and helping to heal both within you and within our world. And we're also going to be sending prayers out for our world, which of course is deeply needed on all levels right now. And then I'm going to share with you an opportunity for you to work with me, for us all to work together in community in a very affordable way for you, so that we can really continue to cultivate what we're beginning here today with this ancient alchemical and shamanic wisdom, and send this out in an extremely powerful way over a 12-week time frame, both for very, very deep healing within each of yourselves and for our planetary collective and deep healing of the whole. So I can't wait to share all of this with you. So let me just get started here. So I do want to say that, first of all, it's just so important for every single one of us to take the responsibility for stopping the coronavirus from spreading, right? This is affecting all of us in a really, really big way. Many people are quarantined or on lockdown, having to stay in our homes. Some of us are not completely on lockdown yet, but are being advised not to go out. And so I just want to really encourage each and every one of you to protect the elders, right? And protect those who are at risk in your community by staying in, staying home, And really, you know, this is giving us such a chance to go into either into solitude or into deeper connection with our family members who we probably haven't spent as much time with. And I'm going to talk a little more about that. It's very, very powerful how we're being asked to shift, but really do take that responsibility, stay in, don't go out to public places unless you absolutely have to. And one other thing I want to say is that if you know anybody who does have to be out working in the public, like healthcare providers or supermarket employees, really thank them. Right, send them a note, just send them some gratitude. They're providing such an incredible service for us, and really they're on the front lines. Especially anyone who's in healthcare is really on the front lines right now, helping to protect the rest of us by being there and taking care of the patients who are going through, you know, different illnesses, including possibly the coronavirus right now. So we want to really send them a lot of love and gratitude and thanks and prayers. And to all of you who are healthcare workers who might be listening, thank you, thank you, thank you very deeply. It's such an important, critical role that you're playing right now. And I know it's not easy and it might be scary at times. So thank you so much for what you're doing. So I want to share with you, to begin here, what is alchemy? And this is something that I've been studying for a while now. It's extremely powerful, and it is very much aligned, as I'll explain in a little bit, with the shamanic path, right? So alchemy is the process through which we turn the lead of our innermost struggles, right? We turn our darkest shadows and our challenges into gold. Now, the lead into gold is a metal-based way of looking at it, but there's so much more here on a very deep spiritual level, right? How are we turning our shadows, our biggest challenges, our biggest pain points into breakthroughs and revolutions of understanding and clarity and higher consciousness, right? This is the manifestation. Alchemy speaks about the manifestation of spirit into matter, or even more specifically, it's the process of how spirit is embodied and becomes matter. So it reflects this intricate link between spirit and matter, that spirit and matter are not separate, but they're very much one, and one very much is infused into the other and vice versa. So, and it's the recognition that both spirit and matter are equally sacred. Okay, that spirit is not more important than matter, which is what we've been largely taught in some of our religions, right? Spirit and matter are both equally sacred. Now, alchemy has been studied intensively for many, many millennia. It's been studied by Pythagoras, by Carl Jung, by Dennis William Hawke, and many, many others. And you can read about it. You can get, for example, The Emerald Tablet is a book written by Dennis William Hawke that I highly recommend to learn more about alchemy. Alchemy actually originated in ancient Egypt, or some say even before ancient Egypt, that it originated in Atlantis with the teachings of Thoth. And it has been passed down through the millennia with the original teachings very much intact. So if you think about how many thousands of years this has been passed down, it's very, very unusual in that way. And alchemy is not about some kind of airy-fairy idealism. It is highly practical. And it occurs, when you work with alchemy, it occurs on a very physical, observable, scientific level. Yet it is also magic. So, and it's magic because the results that we receive are often completely beyond our expectations. Now, the alchemical journey has an extremely strong resonance, at least this has been my experience, right, with the shamanic path, because it's about going into the darkest places, going straight into the situations that we know will be an initiation, a challenge, way outside of our comfort zone, and surrendering to the larger forces that want to help us and change us. And so we know through our life experiences, right, that we are refined through suffering and through discomfort, through pain and through longing, all that initiates us into the deeper recesses of reality. So these circumstances, these initiatory circumstances, must be met with courage. And when we do rise to meet them with courage, then they can change us. And even on a cellular level, even at a DNA level, we then become changed. And the changes through initiation take place through one death after another. Now, death in quotes, it doesn't mean that we are physically having to die, but the old patterns within us, the old belief systems, the old structures of our world, perhaps, are dying away from us so that we can become something new. Again, remember, from lead into gold. Today, that we live in this world that is very much based on separation. It's based on patriarchal, hierarchical structures. And it's based on the few being more wealthy and powerful than the many. It's based on fossil fuels and the rape of the earth. This way of living has reached its furthest limits and cannot go on any longer. And so we have increasing levels of crisis emerging in our world because we have to change from this old way. We have to change from this old, heavy, outdated, leaden structure that we are so encased in, and we have to shift it. We are being called at a very deep level to shift it. This is the world. This is the universal consciousness. This is the earth, the cosmos, helping us, coming in and helping us to change the old patterns. And that is what is happening through the coronavirus. That is what is been happening through all the increased fires, forest fires that we've had around the world, the increased severe weather patterns. All of it is to help us to change. So with this latest thing, this coronavirus, which is it's really, truly incredible how everybody all around the world has had to halt their lives. Like there's no other option. So we are all globally in this same situation of being quarantined and having to stop most of our daily activities. There's nothing else in recent times that has created this kind of not only shutdown of the old patterns, but also actually a unity, a coming together of everyone because we're all in the same situation. So it's extremely powerful. So we're seeing many of the comforts of modern society shut down around us, like air travel being almost completely shut down and continuing to shut down more and more each day. And at the same time that this is very uncomfortable and painful and creating a lot of fear, we are also finding that there is treasure hidden in what's happening. We are slowing down for the first time, maybe in some of our lifetimes, right? Or maybe since we were a child, we're actually slowing down. I'm talking to people who are spending way more time in nature, taking more walks, taking more time to sleep and nap, which our bodies have probably been longing for decades, right? We are not utilizing fossil fuels at anywhere near the normal level across the globe. Do you realize, I get chills thinking about this, do you realize how huge that is? It's incredible. For many of us too, this means that we are spending more time with family members because we're actually all in the house together again. I've spoken to a number of clients who have teenage or college age children who were just always out, right? Or had moved away to college, and now they're back home and everybody's together again. What an incredible gift. And it's not always easy, especially if we weren't planning on that. That can be challenging too, to have to really reestablish those relationships in a new way. But what an incredible gift. So alchemy is always a response to a deep-seated need. In fact, it's a response to a soul level need. And this is to all of our souls, our human souls, and also to the soul of the earth, also to the souls of the larger intelligence in the cosmos, right? Now, alchemy is a response to the intentions that we set, and I'm going to get into this in a lot more detail in a couple minutes. Sometimes we're setting these intentions at a conscious level, and sometimes the world, the universal intelligence, is responding to intentions that we're setting even at a subconscious level. Right? Just think about that. Intentions that we're setting at a subconscious level, things we don't even realize we need, but that our body or spirit or soul is calling for. And I know that and I'm sure many of you have been praying for years for the continuation of the awakening of the human consciousness, right? For more and more people to wake up, for more and more people to realize how we're harming the earth, and for more and more people to be able to significantly change the ways that we're living and being every day on our beautiful sacred planet. And this virus, this coronavirus, as well as other alarming responses that the earth has sent us recently, like the fires and the extreme weather, are the answers to these prayers. Now, that may not sound very comforting that the answers to our prayers are coming in these kind of shocking ways, but here's what we know, right? It does take major shakeups and shocking incidents to make human beings truly change and to make people awaken. And we have largely forgotten, as a mainstream culture in general, right? I know probably not the people on this call, but we have forgotten as a global culture that we are biological beings, that our health is completely dependent on the health of the earth. And this virus is a massive reminder of that. And the coronavirus is a great disruptive force. It is disrupting a lot of patterns. It's disrupting a lot of people's agendas, right? So this is another really interesting thing to think about. This virus and this whole pandemic situation that we are in is disrupting a lot of egos that thought they were in control. And we're all realizing that the plans we have made are not definite and that we're being asked to surrender to this disruption at a very deep level. And I want to look at the chat because I see there's a lot of comments. And I want to also acknowledge, I'm looking for a comment from Rose. Okay, Rose is saying, I have no family and I feel very isolated. Rose, I'm sending you so many prayers and blessings. And yes, as so many people have said here, you have us. This is why we need to gather. This is why we need to come together in community in this way, right? And I know we're all sending you so much love. Yes, and thank you for sharing and being vulnerable, Rose. Thank you, thank you. And I want to really, as I'm sharing kind of the positive side of the ways that we're being transformed here through this, I want to also really acknowledge those who are going through some very serious situations right now, whether they are, ill or isolated. I saw a picture yesterday of an elderly couple, and I think it was that the woman is in a nursing home and the man is not in a nursing home. They're not allowed to be in physical contact, and they were putting their hands up to a window as the closest thing they could get to touching one another. And so I want to just send huge prayers out, and we will do this as a group in a minute for all those who are really going through very extreme situations right now. Sending so much love and prayers out. Now, as we move forward from this, because this is not going to last forever, although everything seems so surreal now, and we don't know when we'll be able to get back into our normal routines. As we move forward from this, the whole world is going to develop entirely new perspectives that we can't even imagine yet. So 9 months, 12 months, 18 months from now, how will we be very, very changed on an individual level and a collective level by this whole experience, by this very global experience, right? This is helping us to move forward as a society and to create new patterns and new ways of living. So alchemy takes what is present and puts it through the fire in order to be transformed into our greatest strength, into our greatest breakthroughs. And I think we're all feeling that fire very, very strongly right now, because that's exactly what is happening here. So here is the core of what I wanted to share with you. These are 3 lessons from ancient alchemical and shamanic wisdom traditions that are extremely powerful to guide us during these catalyzing times of today. So the first thing is that our intentions matter. And our intentions, because we are each a microcosm of the larger cosmic, of the larger universal intelligence. We are each a microcosm of the larger plan. And so our intentions, every one of us through our intentions, actually have the ability to direct the course of events and to help create this global shift in the direction that we know in our heart and soul is for the highest good for all. And remember too that our intentions may be conscious, we may be aware of them, or they may even be subconscious. They may be coming from so deep within us that we're not even consciously aware of what they are, and yet they are still our intentions. And within alchemy, we deliver our intentions up to the universe through 3 different forms. One is prayer, one is meditation, and one is ritual. So I want to share with you, there's a couple of books that I have here on alchemy. So this one is called The Path of Alchemy, and this is by Mark Stavish, and it's really an amazing book. And so in this book, he is sharing about prayer, meditation, and ritual as the 3 ways that we get to express our intentions to the larger field of consciousness. So he says, in prayer, we verbally express our heartfelt desire. In meditation, we still our mind to be open to the influx of knowledge or psychic visions, right? That's what we do in meditation. And in ritual, we express our desire or our intention through symbolism, color, sound, rhythm, and action. And here, I'll put the name of the book in the chat now. It's The Path of Alchemy by Mark Stavish. There you are, Rose. And welcome, Verena. Welcome, Ava in Athens. Beautiful. Glad to have you all here. So another piece of this with our intentions is that the very things that we seek, the very things that we desire and we're setting intentions for, we cannot only seek for ourselves alone, but we must seek them for the greater good of all. And that's so powerful now, right? Because what we each need, the health that we each need, for example, is the health that all humanity and really all of the earth and all beings upon the earth need right now. So when we send out a prayer for health right now, for example, we feel this very, very deeply on an individual level, wanting ourselves to stay healthy, wanting our family members, and especially those who are elderly or at risk, to stay healthy, but also for the greater good of the entire earth community, wanting health for the earth and all beings in the much longer term, bigger picture way. We feel that on so many levels, right? And that's what makes our prayer powerful, is when we feel it very, very deeply. on all levels of our being. So as we're thinking about intentions, we know that there are many different realities that are possible, right? And our beliefs create our reality. What we believe creates what we see and experience in the world. So which reality then will we choose to energize and give our power to in light of our current situation, in light of what we know deeply in our hearts? What reality will we choose to energize? Many of the realities that we have been exposed to since the beginning of our childhood in modern society have been lies. And we want to be very conscious of this. We want to be conscious of how can we connect with the reality that we know in our hearts to be true. And one way to do this is we can set our intentions to have greater and greater understanding and greater access to the realities that the ancient people lived by. The ancient people before the patriarchy took over, right? Before the feminine was pushed down. Because these ancient people were so much closer and more connected with the original truth. And these truths live on in many traditions that are still available to us today, in indigenous cultures, in these alchemical teachings, right? Many of the ancient teachings are still with us today in Chinese medicine, right? In the yogic traditions. There's many different ways we can access this deep ancient wisdom that comes from a time when people were so much more connected with truth and with life as it originally existed on the earth. So we really want to set our intentions for that. So let's take a couple of minutes here to send out a prayer for ourselves and for our world. And so I'll ask each of you now to just close your eyes, just go within, and reflect on one key intention that you would like to set that is both for yourself on a micro level and also that is for the world on a macro level. So this is an intention that is for the highest good for all, right? So set that intention now, and you can just say it to yourself silently in your own mind, or you can speak it aloud. It'd be wonderful to speak it aloud. It gives it even more power when we do this, right? So I'll give you a minute to do this, to find your intention. That is both for yourself on a micro level and for the world on a macro level. So just go ahead and set that intention. And really feel it. Feel all the emotions of that intention within yourself. And now let's send these prayers out into the world, because our prayers have tremendous power to create change, to create shifts, to help us find the new patterns that we need to get into as we leave the old patterns behind. So if you want, you can kind of gather this prayer up here at your heart space with your hands. And one way that I like to, that helps me to visualize sending the prayer out, is to send your hands all the way up. And when you get to the top, just separate your fingers like a lotus flower opening and send that prayer out. Send it out, and we can picture all of our prayers just raining down upon the world, all around the surface of the world, bringing health and healing and light and positive energy to everywhere on our beautiful planet. Send those prayers out. And thank you for your prayers. Now, the second point that I want to share that we can learn from alchemical and shamanic traditions is that all things are sacred. This is one way that alchemy and shamanic beliefs are extremely aligned. So all people are sacred. All events are sacred. All living beings, and this includes beings that scientifically might be classified as non-living, right? So all plants, all animals, of course, but also all mountains, all rivers, all planets, all stars, all black holes are sacred and have a soul. Everything, all beings, are bringers of light. And so this includes viruses, right? The virus too. You are a bringer of light. We are each a bringer of light. The mountains, the rivers, they are bringers of light. And this virus as well is a bringer of light. So what are we learning? Yes, Katrina, even disruption is sacred. These collective events that happen for us are not a mistake. They are not an error. They are sacred. They are help that is being sent to us. So what are we learning from this being, this coronavirus being? What is it communicating to us? And what is Mother Earth communicating to us by sending this virus, by sending this pandemic? What is the Earth asking for us to pay attention to? What is she asking for us to open our eyes to? As the skies in China clear, because the factories have been shut down for weeks and weeks and weeks now. And people there, some people who have never seen a blue sky over their city are now seeing blue skies emerging, because in their entire lifetime, it hasn't been clear of the pollution until now. And as birds are once again heard in some of these cities in China that were too polluted for them to live in before, what is the larger path that we are being guided to? When we return to this ancient truth that all aspects of creation are sacred, including matter, including events, including our physical bodies, even including this virus, it helps us to step back from fear and see the larger plan that is unfolding. And so, can we each make a commitment here, right now, to surrender to this larger plan with trust, with love, with hope? But to really surrender, let us step back, step away from doubt and fear, and instead cultivate a feeling of trust, a feeling of love, a feeling of connection and solidarity like we're experiencing here in the community on this call. And a feeling of certainty that the highest good is already happening, that the highest good is always happening, that we are wrapped in a deep alchemical and shamanic plan that is shifting us and helping us, and that we are guided at every step toward the highest outcome. So let's just close our eyes once again, and maybe you could place your hands on your heart and just take a deep breath in. And then release that breath slowly. And with each in-breath, just really breathe in the sense of being part of this larger plan for the highest good for all involved. Breathe that in, and breathe in the trust. And when you breathe out, just let yourself breathe out any fear, any doubt. Any stuck points. And let's really enter into a deep, deep surrender to this larger plan that wants to occur on the earth right now. Okay, thank you. Now, the third point that I want to share with you is about initiation, right? We are living in an initiatory time. Now, this is this era of starting approximately around the year 2012, and of course the years immediately following that, has been predicted and foretold for thousands and thousands of years by many ancient cultures. And we have the honor, this sacred mission, to be alive during this time and to be bringing the light forward during this time, right? So as of 2012, we have just experienced the ending of a 26,000 year cycle. So this is the precession of the equinoxes, these 26,000 year cycles, but it is also a time frame that was honored and held as truth by many, many, many ancient cultures, these 26,000 year cycles. And in 2012, we just completed the ending of a 26,000 year cycle and began a new cycle. And we are now just 8 years out of 26,000 into a brand new 26,000 year cycle. So we're just at the beginning of this whole different level of energy and evolution and possibility and creation that is coming in. We're only 8 years into that. So of course we're feeling this very strongly. When these cycles change over, as it is written in all of the ancient prophecies, the entire world is rebirthed. So the earth, our mother, Gaia, is experiencing a huge initiation at this time. And of course, as her children, we are as well. Now, initiation from both an alchemical and a shamanic perspective is necessary in order to progress into the next level. And an initiation is never easy. In shamanic terms, an initiation is a time when you must go beyond what you believe that your mind, body, and spirit are capable of. Beyond all that you think you can handle. Beyond all your existing resources and capabilities. And then you will find truth. Or maybe you will find a new version of yourself or a new version of your world on the other side. An example of this, a concrete example so you can picture it, is the Vision Quest. So in the Vision Quest, in one Native American version of the Vision Quest, you go out and you sit in the wilderness, in nature, for 4 days and 4 nights with no food and no water for 4 days and 4 nights. Now that process takes you beyond fear of the dark, beyond fear of the unknown, what animals might be lying nearby, right? It takes you beyond your physical body limitations of going without food and even without water for 4 days. It takes you beyond all the limits that you thought you had, and you find out that your capacity, your resources are actually far greater than you even realized. And then you are rebirthed. And then you emerge on the other side new and different and forever changed, right? And in alchemical terms, the initiation is where you change, or maybe some aspect of your world changes from one form, such as lead, into a completely different form, such as gold. This is like, again, to give a concrete example, this is like the caterpillar, which goes into its cocoon and is completely broken down into liquid. It's broken down into goo, right? It is not a creature anymore when it is liquid inside the cocoon. And then it reconfigures itself into a completely different kind of beast, a butterfly. The butterfly is completely different structurally than the caterpillar because it broke down entirely and formed an entirely new animal. So these are some examples of initiation to give you an idea. And we have help in this. I want to see if Elsa is on because I want to share her dream that she shared with us on Friday. Elsa, are you here? And you don't need to raise your hand or anything if you are. Okay, she's not on, but I know she would not mind if I share this dream because it is a very powerful dream for all of us. So essentially in her dream, which she shared in the March 13th Dreaming Symposium, the message was that the Mother Earth, is rebirthing all of us, and that we are just babies, and that she is going to take care of the hard part, that we just have to be here and continue in our presence and continue with our light and our love. But she's going to do the hard work. She's going to go through the labor for us, because she is our mother. And we are the children. We are the babies. We are still learning how to operate on this initiatory path in this new 26,000 year cycle. So it's a very strong message, right? That we are already doing all that we need to do. We just need to continue giving our presence, our positive intention, our prayers, and our love. And that we are being taken care of, we are being guided, we are being supported through this process. So I think that's very powerful to know. And that comes from a very deep place, from the dream time, right? Beyond the imagination of any of us. It comes from this higher universal intelligence. And so sending out our prayers and allowing these inner shifts to occur within us so we can be changed. This is what we need to do. And yes, such a powerful dream. Such a powerful dream. So I'm going to share with you in just a few minutes a shamanic journey. But I want to share with you, first of all, this amazing opportunity that has really been, came through as a very powerful transmission to me on a plane ride from Costa Rica back to the US on February 29th. And at that time, it didn't totally make sense to me. And then everything unfolded over those next couple of weeks with the virus and the quarantining and everything. And I'm realizing that this is the wisdom, this is the shamanic and alchemical wisdom that needs to be shared now with all of you. So I want to bring up this screen and share this with you. So this is going to be a 12-week immersion, and it's called Shamanic and Alchemical Medicine to guide you in catalyzing times. And I want you to know that this is available on a donation basis, okay? I was thinking about setting a set price for this, and what came through very, very strongly is to make it available for everyone at a donation basis. So let me actually put the link in the chat too, in case you know while I'm sharing about it that you want to join. Of course, please only join if you really want to fully participate and receive all that I'm going to share here. Don't just join for the heck of it. Join because you really want to be a part of this, of being the intention, being the prayer, and going into your deepest fears and shadows and doing your deep inner work, right? So let me explain. I'm going to start down here. So I believe so strongly, as I've shared with you here, that the coronavirus and other global catalyzing events that are happening in our world are created directly by the earth, right? Not only to get us to change, but actually to bring up our deepest fears. Because this is how we heal, as we've been experiencing for a few years now. We have to go into our fears. We have to go into our shadows in order to heal where we've gotten off track in our world, right? So these global events are designed to bring forth the shadows in our world, to make those shadows highly visible to us so that we can go into them and heal them. And all that which humanity fears at the deepest levels is simultaneously the truest path to transformation and breakthrough. So as we think about all the fear that's been created through this pandemic experience that we're all in the midst of, tremendous fear has been brought up. And yet, that is exactly how we heal and transform and break through to the next level of what is possible for our world. So once we make these fears our allies, once we go into the fear and work with it and speak to that fear and ask, how can I become your ally? Then it becomes no trouble at all for us to find the courage and resilience and willpower to go out and create true and lasting change for the future of our world. And in fact, even just as we do that work of going into the fear and the shadows, we are transforming, and so the whole is transforming. It happens naturally. We hardly even have to try beyond the point of doing our own deep healing work. That is always the most important work we can be doing. And so, yes, we are being tested, right? And I know that all of you who are listening, who have tuned in for this, are here to be those who rise with courage and who are here as light workers to help break down all of the old structures that are no longer serving us, and then to get right to work building the new world. And so this is a transformational process for you too, what I'm offering here. This is not just for the larger plan, global picture, but this is also about looking at what do you individually most deeply desire to bring into your life? What do you most deeply desire to create for the good of all beings, and also for your own personal fulfillment and love and joy? Because that is so very important and often forgotten in our world. For your own joy as well. What do you wish to create? And what do you most deeply fear? And can you see that the only path to all that your heart most longs for is directly through your deepest fears? This is the shamanic path. This is the alchemical journey that I've been speaking of. To enter into the darkest places, which are also the places from which everything is created, with a mindset of complete surrender, and to openly welcome the initiation which the earth and cosmos are sending to you personally, right? As well as on the collective level, but to you personally. And really and truly, with entering into this process, with this program I'm offering, the moment that you say yes is the moment that everything begins to change. This is what happens in alchemy. Everything begins to change within you for the highest good. And things begin to change in ways that you could not possibly have imagined. Completely unexpected and mysterious and magical. So this will be a 12-week journey. It is a rapid shift immersion, because so there's a lot right now about how we need to slow down, and we do. And what's happening in the world is helping us to slow down. But on an inner level, on an evolutionary level, can you feel that at the same time we're being called to move quickly with this inner work? Like, that is part of the slowing down. The slowing down is so that we can have the space to do this inner work to allow the transformation to occur. And so we need to meet the earth to respond with sacredness and honoring of the global situation that she's sending us, and with honoring of our inner personal situation as well, and use it, all of it, to transform us both personally and collectively. So now is the time. And I love this image of like just the light, this pathway to the light. So there will be 6 classes over this 12-week period. The classes will be held on Thursdays at 1 p.m. New York time. And they will be every other Thursday for those 12 weeks. So I will let you come here and explore in detail the journey that we will go on. I'm just going to go into it very briefly here. So first of all, on April 2nd, we're going to look at our immortality, which is an ancient truth that has been long forgotten, right? We're going to study what the ancient Egyptians and the ancient Greeks knew, and many other cultures as well, knew about life, fear, death, and alchemy. And we're going to learn about how these ancient truths have been covered up, and then how we can bring them back into our being. And really to remember what is real. And in all of these sessions, I'm going to be giving you profound transmissions of light and healing. And we're going to be activating one chakra with each session. So in this, we're going to activate your root chakra with the ancient light codes from Lilith, who is the one who broke all the rules in order to return to her own divine truth. Then on April 16th, together in community, we will gather around becoming oneness. And you will receive activations to connect you deeply with the wisdom of Thoth and Isis, these ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses who together can bend time and change the course of history. This is so powerful for what we're experiencing right now. You will get the chance to rewrite your soul song, the mythical rendering of your life. You will receive a shamanic healing around your fears and so much more. And we will activate your sacral chakra with the light codes from the star Sirius, also known as Sothis or Isis, who holds specific responsibility for the evolutionary development of Gaia and all beings on our beautiful planet. Then on April 30th, we will dive into taking leadership over your fear, really establishing your sovereignty, because this is how you are able to speak to your fear and become the ally of your fear and let your fear become your ally. And as I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'm going to let you all read through this on your own to go into all the detail. But you can see there's an activation, there's a shamanic journey, and there's an activation of your chakras with every call, as well as, of course, a Q&A and lots of guidance and support at all levels. So on May 14th, we will dive into choosing the fullest life. And you will receive a healing and an activation of your heart chakra and the light codes of Venus and Aphrodite to heighten your connection with life force and all the beauty that surrounds us. You will be immersed in truth and love and trust. And you'll receive an activation of dragon medicine, which brings the ability to receive miracles and rapid shifts in your waking reality. And then around our, this will be around our 9th week together, we will go into a space of complete surrender. And this is really a space to let go of any clinging, any expectations, any ego needs or wants or desires, and really opening up to what the universe wishes to be birthed through you, which is exactly what's going to bring you more joy and love and fulfillment than anything you could have thought of with your human thinking mind, right? And I will connect you with the light codes of the star Canopus and the Egyptian god Osiris. This is very powerful, right? Who take us to the place where any illusions of control or ego will be shattered and released so that we can emerge into who you are really, truly meant to be. And here I'm going to help you to open and activate your throat chakra to release all constriction, control, fear, or blocked self-expression so that you can be you like never before. Very, very powerful. And then in our last session together, this will be about moving into the light. So now that you've fully surrendered to what wants to be birthed through you, letting go of any ego clinging or expectations, right? Now this will be an astral activation and a connection to the moon and the sun, these great beings of light that have always guided humanity from the beginning of time, have always shared their endless life force energy with us. And we will activate your third eye chakra and connect you to the moon, and activate your crown chakra to connect you to the sun. And you will create a map of action steps to build all that your soul most deeply longs for so that you can live the fullest life. And we will activate this by infusing it with the light of the moon and the sun. So you can see that all that we'll experience here will be very powerful energetically, on a deep alchemical level, on a deep shamanic level. So by the time you traverse these 12 weeks together with me, you will be changed. There will be completely new energy, completely new opportunities, completely new synchronicities coming into your life at a much deeper level than we could ever predict or express in words. Okay, it's extremely powerful. And so I'll let you read this on your own. But I do want to say that as we become more alive, the earth becomes more alive, right? So this is an invitation to shift into living your fullest life. And there's a note here about, here's what you will notice and receive. Okay, I'll let you read that. So this is a course that the regular price is $4.99. I was going to be offering this for $2.99, but it became very clear from my guides that I should offer this on a donation basis. So you can click here on the page, which let me give you the link again in the chat. So if you come to this page and scroll down, and I'll look at the chat and answer some questions. Hopefully can get to all the questions as soon as possible here, but let me just complete sharing this with you. So once you go to that page that I just put in the chat, you can scroll down near the bottom and just click here, and it will take you to a page where you can, it's through PayPal, you can submit whatever donation amount you would like, okay? And for everyone who submits a donation of some amount, of any amount, you can join the course. Now, I do ask if you have the means to, to give, then please do, because it's supporting my work, it's supporting Sacred Planet, and it's supporting all of us in expanding, growing the light, and really, doing the good work that we're meant to do here, okay? And if you're only able to donate very little, that is totally fine, and I welcome you with open arms into the class. Now, there's a bonus here, and this is a fast action bonus. So the first 7 people to join by donating $77 or more will receive a free 60-minute coaching session with me. Okay, so if you know you want the 60-minute session, go ahead and join right away, because I'm sure a lot of people will be signing up right now. So we'll begin this session with a 30-minute astrology reading to identify your biggest strengths and your challenges in 2020, so you know what to look for this year, as well as your greatest places for breakthrough. And this will give you a really solid foundation for what to focus on as you're working through the 12 weeks of this program. And then the next 30 minutes will be a celestial dream creation session, in which we'll identify, first of all, your deepest fear, and then we'll identify your highest level soul desires. And once we know those, we will then pinpoint the bridge through which your fear can become your ally and lead you to achieve your deepest desires. Now, this is something where I'll be working with you on a very deeply intuitive level, and also my intuition, your intuition, all of our guides coming together to identify this bridge, which is going to be a major breakthrough moment, right? A breakthrough experience. And so because we're going to go so deep in these sessions are really, truly for those who are willing to come in with a mindset of complete surrender and trust. Okay. So that's for the first 7 people to join by donating $77 or more. Now, I am so excited to gather with all of you and begin this journey and just see what incredible and amazing things are going to unfold for all of you, for all of us. I think I know this is going to be so extremely powerful. We're going to go really deep. We're going to experience the alchemy that is possible when we come together with surrender and trust and community in this way, and really open up to the change that wants to be birthed through us, both for our individual joy and fulfillment and love and success, and also for this much larger plan that we're all a part of, for the earth, for the future of our world. So as it says here, I can't wait to begin this journey with you on April 2nd. Lots of love and gratitude to all of you who are attending today. Now, I want to share with you this shamanic journey But first, let me just check the chat and see what questions we have here. Yes, so all of these sessions in the class will be recorded. All 6 sessions over the 12 weeks will be recorded. So if you cannot make it live at the class times, that is totally fine. Of course, I would love everybody to attend live so that we can do the Q&A and I can give you, the highest level. But if you can't attend live, you can still absolutely sign up for the class. You will get all of the recordings. You will get to watch the Q&A where you see what other questions people ask, which are often the same thing that many people are wondering. So definitely, you'll get recordings for all of it. And so don't worry about it if you can't make one or more of the dates. Let's see. Yes, if you signed up prior to seeing the bonus and you want to add the amount, yeah, go ahead and submit the second piece of it now. Absolutely. And yeah, thank you all for the love and the thank yous in the chat. Let's see. I'm just seeing if there's any other questions. Okay, is it possible to join even though I'm pregnant with the birth in May? Yes, absolutely, Anna Maria. I would love to support you as you are nearing the birth of your child. That is such a magical and incredible time. Definitely, because you can participate up until the birth of your child, and then even if it becomes harder, I know with the schedule and with different sleeping patterns, it can be harder to participate after your child is born, but even then you'll be able to watch the recordings, even if you can't attend live, even if you want to put it on hold for a month or 2 while your baby is very small and then come back to it, you can do that later. So absolutely, Anna Maria, thank you for asking the question. Okay, let's see. Yay. Okay, thank you all for the beautiful comments. Hopefully I got all the questions. If there was a question about anything, whether it was the course or what I talked about earlier that I haven't answered, please put that in the chat now. How long will the recordings be available? Forever, or for as long as my business exists, which I hope is a long, 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 long time. There will not be any limit on how long the recordings will be available. They'll be in an online teaching platform. They'll be in Sacred Planet Academy, and you will have lifetime access to that. So definitely you will not run out of time to watch the recordings. It'll be many, many, many years at least. Yes, the talk today will be sent out as a recording. I'm going to send this. I'm so glad for 260 people who have been on live. The number's a little lower now. I'm sure lots of people have had to leave at the hour, but, and yes, I'm going to send this out to everybody in the Sacred Planet audience. So Richard, you will get the recording, absolutely. Let's see. So the calls will be on Zoom just like this one, right? This is a Zoom webinar. And the calls will be interactive though, because so on the Zoom webinar calls, if you raise your hand, I can bring you over to talk with me on video, right? So that's what we'll do for the Q&A in the class. It'll be like many of the other classes, like the Dream Symposium that we do, you'll be able to raise your hand and come over to talk with me. So it will be interactive in that way. And of course you can always post questions and comments in the chat. So that was to answer Diana's question. Let's see. If you're not seeing where to enroll in the class, I'll give you this PayPal link. Hold on one second. I'm signing in to get my link here. So I'll put this PayPal link in the chat. And if you can't see the web page for some reason, or if you can't find the button on the web page, here is the link. Whoops. Come on, Zoom. Oh, I don't know what's happening. It's not letting me comment. Try this. Well, that's weird. Okay, let me share my screen then. So if you just go to this, if you type this in, paypal.me/Jocelyn5555. If you type that in, it will give you a screen that allows you to fill in whatever dollar amount you want to make for your donation and click submit. That is through PayPal. If anybody doesn't like PayPal or doesn't have a PayPal account, you can email me. My email address is jocelyn@wearesacredplanet.com. If you email me with the amount that you want to donate, this is if you don't want to go through PayPal, email me the amount you want to donate and I'll send you a link to pay that amount. Okay. But I'm hoping most people will go through PayPal because I don't want to do too many of the manual ones because that takes longer time. So yeah, for anybody who couldn't find the way to sign up on the page or couldn't get to the page, just type in paypal.me/Jocelyn5555 and it'll let you fill in whatever amount you want to send. Okay. I don't know why it wouldn't let me put this in the chat. I'm gonna try it. Okay. Okay. And here is so just click on that link I just put in, Judy. Click on that link I just put in the chat. Oops, sorry, you guys can't see it. I didn't follow my own rules. Let me try again. Okay, Judy, and anyone else, click on that link I just put in the chat, paypal.me/my name 5555. And just, if you click on that, it will give you a screen where you can type in whatever amount you want to get. And if you do not want to use PayPal, the link is right here in the chat, Judy. I just put it in the chat. So just click on that. If you do not want to use PayPal, all right, so let me just put this whole note in here. If you do not want to use PayPal, mail me. And when you email me, though, you've got to tell me the amount you want to donate. Because I will have to give you a link for that specific dollar amount, okay? So I just put this in the chat. If you do not want to use PayPal, email me at this email address and tell me the amount you want to donate, and I'll send you a link to donate that amount directly without PayPal. Okay, very cool. Okay, Susan. Yeah, I'll reach out to everybody who was the first 7 later today. Okay, so if you don't get an email from me later today, then you weren't in the first 7. I might do a few more extra. I'll let you guys know. I always like to talk to more people if I can, of course. But I'll let you all know by the end of the day today, New York time, Eastern time, if you were one of the first 7, okay? Okay, well, let me share with you this shamanic journey. And I need to run and get my drum. I'm realizing I don't have my drum. So hold on just 1 second, I'll be right back. So just take a second. Okay, so I invite you all to just close your eyes now. And I'm going to share a beautiful image with you, actually. So you can either close your eyes or you can gaze lightly at this image that I'm about to bring up. Let's see. This is a beautiful doorway of all possibilities. So you can close your eyes or you can gaze lightly at that image of the door. And just really settle into yourself. Go deep within, go into the core of your being. Usually you will feel this somewhere around either your heart chakra area or your sacral chakra area or somewhere in between the two. Go into the very center of your being where your soul resides. The part of you that is eternal. The part of you that can never be harmed, that can never die, that has been with you through every previous lifetime and will be with you through every future lifetime into eternity. This is the part of you that knows the bigger plan, that is deeply connected to the celestial, cosmic, universal intelligence. You hold this within you always. So connect with that place and take a deep breath in, filling up your lungs and really breathing in trust and truth and life. And then release that breath fully, breathing out any last remnants of fear or doubt or resistance. Breathe in once again, breathing in trust and love and life. And breathe all the way out, breathing out any last pieces of fear or doubt. Now, in order to help along the initiatory process that we're in, we must go within ourselves, into our very core, and redeem the lost parts of ourselves, the lost parts of our psyche that just want to be brought into the light. And just by acknowledging these parts of ourselves and really seeing them for the first time, we set them free. And we allow them to not be lost parts anymore, because now we acknowledge them, now we honor them, now we value them. So they're not lost, they're not dark and shadowy anymore. They can emerge into the light and begin to serve their true purpose within us. Now this gives us access to abilities that we didn't even know we had, because this part was lost and now it is found and now it is available to help us to be a part of who we are going forward. So this work that we do within ourselves at this very deep level literally creates the next iteration of our world. Our intentions and the depths at which we allow ourselves to explore our shadows create what is possible going forward into the future. So I invite you to go really deeply here. So in a minute or two, I'm going to begin drumming. And when I start drumming, I welcome you to go within yourself to that core soul level and find the lost pieces. Let your soul illuminate within you the lost pieces of yourself that the earth and this global situation we're in want to bring to the surface. What are the lost pieces of yourself that want to be found right now? That want to be brought into the light? And then ask your soul to show you, to illuminate how this part of yourself is actually here to help you. So I'm going to start drumming now. So go inside, find the lost pieces of yourself, bring them into the light, and ask how these parts are actually here to help you. So now, bringing your awareness back once again to the center of your being. Bringing your awareness back to your eternal soul, who's always there within you. Let's take a deep breath together, breathing in all the way, filling up your lungs, breathing in trust and light and life. And then releasing that breath all the way out. Breathing in once more, filling your lungs up all the way. And releasing that breath fully. And if you want to write something down in your journal or your notebook that was really important that came through to you during this journey, go ahead and do that now. Take a few moments to write it down. What we see in our journeys is very much from the dream time and tends to fade quickly. So writing it down right afterwards is important. Okay, and just coming back fully present here. So go ahead and open your eyes and place your hand on your heart. Join us back here in community. And yeah, I'm so excited. Everybody who's going to be part of the class, I can't wait to start meeting with you on the 2nd. And as I said, to see all the magic that will unfold. I hope this journey was really valuable for all of you. And this is the work that we're called to, right? To go into the dark places and find the treasure, find the transformation that is available to us there. It's very powerful. This deep inner work is the absolute most important thing we can be doing at this time. Yes, let's heal the world. Love it, Mila. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So, welcome, Katya. Your first time in this community. Wonderful. So glad you're here. Okay. And so I am sending so much love out to each and every one of you, and I'm wishing you health and peace in these rapidly changing times. And I hope that you and your family members all stay healthy, and that you find solitude and quiet and slowing down during this quarantine time. And yes, just so much peace and love and light I'm sending to all of you. So yes, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day wherever you are around the world. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon. Much, much love. Many blessings.